Good afternoon everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing rather well. We are in South Korea today, the Republic of Korea, flying the Pepsi jet. Down to the new Naha Airport, to the island of Okinawa in Japan. No, I don't want the crew. Bloody GSX. Welcome to everyone, wherever you are in the world. Ian, good day. Or good evening rather. Badger, welcome. Liam, good to see you. Mikhail, Zato, welcome folks, and everyone else, wherever you are in the world. Here we are with the PMDG 777-300ER once again, with one of the liveries from flightsim.to, which is rather nice. The freeware for Seoul Incheon is pretty pants, to be honest. It's in fact pretty awful. Really not a fan of it. But I don't think there's any decent payware available for it either yet. But there's issues with the jetties colliding with the aircraft. GSX profile is a bit of a mess, and all the rest of it. So it's not great. But in contrast, the arrival into Naha is going to be absolutely stunning, and we've got some great scenery from MKStudios to check out, which is all new. It's been released only about 5, 6, 7 days ago, roughly, maybe just a bit longer than that. The links are in the description down below if you want to go ahead and purchase it. Doc, good evening. David, good morning to you, matey. Rob, welcome. Good afternoon. So, we're going to board the punters, he says, invisibly trying to click the door handle, and I'm hoping they take a seat. Oh, PAXIM RKSI, Zato, yeah, that's meant to be a decent one, isn't it? Yeah, look at that air bridge, what a mess. It is what it is. Carlito, good morning. So we'll go through all of our pre-flight. We'll discuss the routing for today, the procedures for the departure. We'll get everything in the flight deck set up, and in the meantime, hopefully it will mean that we get passengers taking their seats in the cabin area. Greg, good evening. Carlito, how are you doing, matey? I hope you're okay. Hope you're well. And then hopefully we're going to get some decent passengers in the cabin, because last time we flew this, even though it was enabled, it wasn't working for us. So we'll see how... What? How we get on. What? Is that new? Wow, it is. Can you guys hear that? That's got to be a new That's a new GSX feature. They must be shouting their heads off if I can hear it up the front here. Anyway, we've done most of the kind of pre-flight and everything already, so if we start on the ident page, we've aligned our INS here like so, or IRS rather, and then we've also pulled in our routing for today. Jay, good morning. The commentator, afternoon. Matthew, good morning. Zato says, I think he's using Liero designs. I heard it's easier on frames, but PAXIM's is more detailed, however heavier on performance. I've got neither, to be honest. I find the PAXIM scenery very expensive. It's still very much kind of X-plane priced. But it is what it is. So we've loaded all this in. Our call sign is Korean Air 755. Let's pop it onto Unicom. And we've also loaded in our routing, and we've started to prepare our takeoff page. So we've used this takeoff performance calculator in the Universal Flight tablet from them. Nicholas, welcome. And it's given us a flat 5 departure, cell temp of 45 with takeoff profile 2, and it's indicating therefore those V speeds there. So 156, we could pop that here. Flight time of about 2 hours today. Like so, and we've gone for an initial climb of 17,000 because that's one of the kind of the bits that's mentioned in the charts. And we'll have a little look at those shortly as well. Thrust limitations, there we go, the cell temp, takeoff profile and the climb profile selected as well. The departure for today, runway 34 right, onto the BOP-T 2 Yankee departure out of Seoul. And that's kind of everything pre-set and ready to go, because we know how at this point, hopefully, to set all of this up. If we look at the charts then, we're here at the main passenger terminal 2. We're going to push start. Hopefully there's a custom pushback that works half decent with this, but we'll find out shortly. And we're going to taxi out of Romeo Foxtrot, Romeo Charlie. Hotspot 25, we're going through that most likely as well. Turning onto Mike. And then working down Mike to line up via Mike 5 and Sierra there. Runway 34 right for the takeoff today. We could use... is it Mike? It is Mike. Well, it might be November actually. It's not particularly... I think it's November. We could take November, which is the innermost one nearest to the runway. But I'll just see what I fancy doing when we get there. After takeoff though, 34 right, we're going to turn left 318 degrees straight away out over the coast to Yankee Delta 020. We've got a little 1 there as well, indicating there's some inset with a bit of an instructional note for us to read. And then from there, 280 degrees, climbing up above 4,000 to Yankee Delta 040, then southbound, continuing the climb through 7,000, 10,000, 13,000, before heading back over Korean mainland, South Korean mainland, Yankee Delta 160, southbound towards Japan. Where's that number 1? Do not start turn before DER due to obstacle avoidance, and there's an obstacle detailed 1 left of the runway. Looks like it's well clear though. But yeah, ATS surveillance required. Do not start turn before DER due to obstacle avoidance. That's all fine. Transition altitude 14,000. And we've got to do a 6.5% climb required until reaching flight level 170, which is why I've set that in the aeroplane basically. This is a bit of a note for us to use. Get rid of that weird music. But nothing kind of contentious. There is as Illicit Games has said, I don't know if it's in these charts. When I left, when I flew to Seoul actually, I asked the pilots to give me a copy of the maps, and I did get one. There we go. Avoid penetration of RKP, because you've got the DPR up there, aka North Korea, who are crazy. It's probably more on the arrivals more than anything else, which is the one that British Airways flew in with. Maybe it's all changed since. Mind you, I don't know if they used Jefferson charts. No. It was very similar to that arrival there, to be fair. And there's a big, I remember there being a big red kind of square here on the charts. I can't remember what the chart format was they used, and it said like warning, enter, if you enter this area and stray too far north you risk being shot down. Which is rather crazy. I've just accidentally pressed the print button as well, whoops. But interestingly, it doesn't seem to be in this selection of charts. Yes, the icing, taxi routes, yeah. I accidentally pinned that, yes, I don't know why. But yeah, North Korean airspace is quite close to Seoul, which is odd, but it's all good. So we're going to pop the flight directors on. We need to set that runway heading as well. Actually, the initial kind of climbing turn of 318, it's not so much runway heading. auto, that's set, V2, auto brake, RTO, and we shall turn the APU on. flipping heck. So we're going to get that fired up. That's all looking pretty good. Auto start enabled. Pressurization systems on automatic. Seatbelt signs can go on now. And I've got to make sure we've started the flight in New Sky, which we have as well, so we can track it using our virtual airline client for today. So looking pretty good. Oh, you know what I can try as well? Let me just get the Luke Air tool up and see if we've got readability 5. See if we've got a Korean Air. Oh, we do. Alright, so we've got a Korean Air safety demonstration announcement as well for after pushback. So we're going to leave 2000, we're on Unicorn 1228. That's all looking fine. How are we doing? It looks like we've got passengers. Nice. Almost got everybody on board, so we might be slightly delayed with our scheduled pushback, which is at 17 minutes past. Whoa. Looking pretty busy. This is that annoying jetty thing that's wedged inside my aeroplane and the scenery, but we can't solve that, sadly. Ancient Dino, welcome. Just calming down after a shambles of an approach into Palma de Mallorca. 3,000 feet at 300 knots was not fun. My goodness, what happened? There is as well over Japan at the moment, for those of you who like a bit of a challenge. I'll show you Valanta while we board. So there's our routing for today. So quite close, that white line there being the border with the crazy north and the sensible south. We'll be working through South Korea, passing overhead Jeju Island, and then over the East China Sea, headed predominantly southbound pretty much all the way to Okinawa. We've got Kadena Air Base, which is a massive United States Air Force base, which will be on our left during the descent. We've also got Futenma Marine Corps Air Station on the left-hand side, but we're flying into Naha, which is a straight-in approach expected for runway 18 right. No problematic weather at the moment. It says 18 left there, but actually we'll be using 18 right. That's what we planned for. So that bit of runway over the edge on the bay. There's a massive hurricane over Tokyo at the moment, working its way kind of down the coast towards Osaka, Chubu, Nagoya, and all that. So there's a big old thunderstorm, a huge hurricane system in at the moment around that area, which is no doubt rather challenging and causing all sorts of carnage. So if you are in Japan and certainly around the Tokyo area, please stay safe. Hope you're all okay. This looks great, doesn't it? With all these passengers inside the Boeing 777-300. Look at that. And we've got custom Korean Air uniforms as well with this GSX update, which is fairly newish. Get out of the way of the small man. If you want to look at the winds, you could just do. We could use the METAR command. So I don't know. RJTT, that'll do. Let's go into the flight deck then, because pushback is upon us. We can seal the punters out. Get out, stay away. And let's hide that UFT over there. We don't need it. What have we got here? APU gen is on. That's all good. That looks decent. I'm going to fire up GSX because boarding is now complete. Prepare for pushback and departure. So we look like we're in good time here. Let's get rid of that. Release ground power, yes. Where is it? Ground operations. Request. That's all good. Brakes are set. Remove chocks. Door management. Let's close the door. I have clicked it. Closing. I don't like how it's all, it's all kind of armed by default. They should all be disarmed by default. But anyway, let's arm them all. One less thing to worry about. All green. Let's pause the music. And we've got to make sure we're clear first, because... Yep, there we go. Is that... He's on stand, isn't he? So we are clear. We've got to try and work this pushback facing west. Bring that range ring in. We can go LNAV, VNAV for the flight directors on. So that's all set. Beacon lights on. Still, I haven't called for pushback yet because we're not actually fully ready. Centre tanks are empty. So we'll turn left and right pumps on. We don't need the rest. Crossfeed is off. What do we got here? Windshield heats, hydraulics are all on. That's good, that's set. Fuel's set. Icing's automatic. Bleeds all on auto. I've got to try and find my location. Incheon traffic, green air, 755 heavy stand. 283 I believe. So correction, 248 push starts facing Southwest Romeo Charlie. Incheon traffic. Brakes off. Okay, so we'll go left engine start, auto starts active, so left fuel control lever to run to make sure the throttles are in the idle position. Just going to recall that, clear it away. Gotta try and sort this drone camera thing out. Through the tower. Through the roof. Okay, well the pushback looks alright. Left engine's good. Right, start, run.
Incheon traffic zooming. FedEx price kilo alpha will push from cargo apron on
Safety demonstration time. He's very loud.
Push facing west.
손님 여러분, 지금부터 여러분의 안전하고 쾌적한 여행을 위해 안내 말씀드리겠습니다.
Suitability 5.
こんにちは。安全で快適なフライトをお楽しみいただくために皆様にお願いがございます。가지고 오신 짐은 좌석 아래와 선반에 보관하실 수 있으며 특히 선반 속의 짐은 떨어질 우려가 있으니 겹쳐서 넣지 않도록 주의해 주십시오. お手荷物の重いものはお座席の下にお置きください。上の棚に荷物を
Apparently, I don't know who Blackpink are, but apparently they're absolutely massive with Korean pop culture and stuff at the moment. They're kind of like the K-pop stuff. like Gangnam Style. It's like big pop culture with apparently that's who Blackpink are. Apparently, they're very famous. I think that livery may have come into Heathrow for a little while, but obviously they're now flying the 748 in during the summer season, which is something special. So flat 5 and set, we got, that's good. Not on an intercept heading. I know. 475 for trim, let's get it set. Other way, Luke, other way. 255, 75. Flight controls. 475, 475. Right. Back to neutral. Left. Back to neutral. Rear. Forwards. Such a crappy Thrustmaster Boeing yoke. There we go. I do not recommend them, folks. No, Seoul Tower is not aligned. No, we're on Unicom. Give that a couple of wiggles. That's all set. We've got to use the checklists page as well just to get through a lot of this. Normal. Done all that. Taxi takeoff briefing set, checked. Before taxi, anti-ice is already automatic. Recall checked. TCAS off. All brakes RTO. Flight controls checked. Ground equipment's clear. Override. Clear that away. He's over there with the ground pin. He's already walked away. Taxi lights go on. APU can go off. Overhead panel checked. It's nice being back in here. That's good. Rudder 0, 0, aileron 0. Okay, brakes off. Brakes. Incheon traffic, Korean Air 755 Heavy, taxi to all points, Sierra runway 34 right via Romeo Charlie, Romeo 12 and November. Click. Sorry, then you need to uninstall it and then reinstall it and check for any updates inside the PMDG Operations Center. Nice and wide, just keep that nose wheel bang on the centre line. I do love this aeroplane, it's bloody brilliant. Look at that. Yeah, number 8, yes, big old juicy GEs.
먼저 착용하신 후 도와주시기 바랍니다. 산소 마스크가出ましたらマスクを手前に引きます。鼻と口に当て紐を
Left's looking clear.
頭に固定します。
Right's clear.
手助けが必要な方と一緒の場合は
Romeo 12.
ご自分のマスクから先に
Miguel says it's 100% his favourite aircraft as well. Yeah, mine too. Over we go. Cabin secure. Thank you.
Delta 2, cross runway 33 right on Juliet and crossing 33 left on Juliet, Romeo 8.
着用するときは頭からかぶり両腕を通します。 착용하실 때는 머리 위에서부터 입으시고 양팔을 끼운 다음 끈을 몸에 맞도록 조여주십시오.
I swear that bit I just heard was Japanese.
충분히 부풀지 않을 때는 고무관을 풀어주십시오. 그러나 구명복은 비상구 앞에서 탈출 직전에 부풀려 주십시오. 前の紐を左右に引いて体に合うよう調節します。赤い金具を下に引くと膨らみます。
I don't know.
膨らみが足りないときは
Morning, Andrew.
息を吹き込みます。
Left clear. Right's clear. Second left, November.
膨らませてください。
Keeping it simple for the taxi.
또한 비행기가 바다에 내리면 탈출 미끄럼대를
Incheon traffic,
구명보고
Crossroad 2472 Heavy is taxiing to runway 34 right via Romeo 1, Romeo 12, Alpha, Romeo 8, November, holding point Sierra, runway 34 right.
Kari, welcome. Yeah, so there's Japanese and Korean in the safety demonstration, isn't there? Which is interesting, because actually we're flying between the two, so that works rather nicely.
비상구 좌석에 앉으신 분께서는 비상 시 저희 승무원과 함께 다른 승객들의 탈출을 도와주셔야 합니다.
Yeah, konnichiwa, Akari, hope you're well.
부탁드립니다. 非常口の前のお客様には非常時に乗務員のお手伝いをお願いしております。
Keep it coming.
詳しくはお手
Don't be
元
tempted to
の
cut
安
corners,
全の
folks.
しおりをご覧ください。
And a nice straight line.
준비를 위해 좌석 등받이를 세워주시고 테이블이 제자리에 있는지 좌석 벨트를 매셨는지 다시 한번 확인해 주십시오. 離陸の準備のためお座席とテーブルは元の位置に
That's really weird, because the yellow line started to come in towards me and I had this weird illusion that we were actually steering, but it's just because the taxiway narrows.
앞좌석 등받이 속의 안내문을 참고하시기 바랍니다.
Last stream of the week today, folks, and then I'm back to work for another 4 or 5 days. And then I think if I've got it right, I've only got 2.5 days off, so there'll probably be 1 stream next week, depending on what happens. Let me just double check what we're using. Yeah, 2 days off basically, 2.5 days off. So it'll be 1 stream next week, and we'll go from there. And that is the safety demonstration complete. Good.
Incheon traffic, AMA 891 will be taxiing Romeo 7 Alpha Golf, runway 33 left, Incheon traffic.
Supposedly a very, very good aircraft, very good airline rather, to fly with. Although I've never tried myself. Dave Bass in Sydney, welcome. His wife's Korean, very nice. Who the heck is that in that FedEx? Jesus! We're about to call V1. My giddy aunt.
Incheon traffic, Romeo 776 Heavy, pushing up 750.
Little ANA over there, look. I think that probably looks like they're going off 33 right. Mikhail says, did I mention I'm on vacation and off to Florence Sunday on an A320 from Scandinavian Air Service? Very nice. You mentioned you were on vacation yesterday, but you didn't mention if you were going anywhere. Although you maybe did, because I did ask. Perhaps I missed it, because it was quite a busy old flight yesterday. It's got such a great profile on that aircraft, hasn't it? Shame the aeroplane is lacking somewhat still and can't be used with New Sky. Fuang Ha, welcome. Good evening. Good little windsock check as we go past here. We've got predominantly a headwind there, look, with a slight maybe 2 or 3 knot crosswind for us to contend with today. In fact, looking on Navigraph, it's a 5 knot headwind, 2 knot crosswind component. Yeah, it was stunning yesterday, Mikhail. Apparently not difficult enough, though. Can't win sometimes. That looks ready. So, TCAS, lights. That's all we have to worry about next. In fact, we're already at the runway, so let's TCAS, TARA, traffic, runway, strobes, landing. Incheon traffic, Green Air 755 heavies lining up runway 34 right via Sierra. Nice and wide, keeping the main wheels in line with that centre line of the taxiway.
Finnair 4, taking off runway 33 left, to Alpha departure.
Yuri, it's okay, the RKSI scenery, it's not great, but it's okay for free wear. And that, whatever aircraft is there that's departing, I'm going to have to wait 2 minutes, I think, for their departure. I think they're going to the same place. Nice and wide again. There are some payware options, Yuri.
A320 to the right of Osprey 2472. Do you want to continue taxiing? I think I need to go down Romeo 8.
But unfortunately they're all quite expensive options.
891, thanks. I'll taxi from you, turning right anyways.
Okay, brakes. Sort that out. I've got the nav lights and strobes on. Yes. Can't really see them. Has that aeroplane got airborne yet? There he is. There's one. It's an Osprey. Love it. Right, I haven't really played it, to be honest. But welcome. Ian says, gutted to miss yesterday. Looked like so much fun, but looking forward to the payware version revisit. Yeah, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So if I start hurtling down here now, he's about to turn left. He's going to turn left and we'll be on converging path with one another, so not great. Boing Ha says, I'm flying a Korean Air from DC to Vietnam this Sunday, so lovely to watch a Korean Airlines flight. Good, nice. Exciting. Is Volanta Premium's overlay fly with Craig? Welcome. Is he going to turn? Oh, that's about 2 minutes anyway, isn't it? Incheon traffic, Korean Air 755 heavies taking off runway 34 right, Bop to 2 Yankee departure, Incheon. So. Brakes off.
Traffic,
50%.
We're going to be lining up for runway 33 left for northbound departure. Traffic.
Engines are stable, Toga. With a D rate though. Speed's alive. Power set. Engine's good. 80 knots. At least that nose wheel pressure. Love the acceleration on this thing.
V1.
Rotate. V2. Still working the rotation back, nice and gentle. Positive rate. You're up. A little bit of turbulence. And we'll begin a left turn.
Traffic in 891 departing runway 33 left, northbound departure.
Okay, autopilot engaged. Auto brakes off, runway turn off lights go off. Taxi lights can go off. Incheon traffic, Korean Air 755 heavy. Final call airborne at 2,500. Bob to 2 Yankee. See ya. Where we go. There is the mighty Seoul in the background as well, which is rather cool. Very turbulent. There comes the left turn. We should be approaching acceleration speed imminently, and the water masking here is ruddy awful, isn't it? Look at that. That's horrible. And I don't know if that's the freeware. It's hard to tell sometimes. Alright, let's clean her up, flaps up. Let's keep the spin going around for the heading. We'll keep it going to 380 for cruise. Auto selected. It's Bing issues today, Mushy P says. Of course there is. When is there not in Microsoft Flight Simulator these days? My goodness. Norman, welcome. Saying the same.
손님 여러분, 방금 좌석 벨트 표식이 꺼졌습니다. 그러나 비행 중에는 기류 변화로 비행기가 갑자기 흔들리는 경우가
Traffic
있습니다.
in 891 Airborne crossing.
안전한 비행을 위해 자리에 앉아 계실 때나 주무시는 동안에는 항상 좌석 벨트를 매고 계시기 바랍니다. 그리고 상단을 여실 때는 안에 있는 물건이 떨어지지 않도록 조심해 주십시오. 아울러 저희 대한항공의 스카이패스 회원 여러분께서는 여행하신 누적거리에 따라 다양한 혜택을 받으실 수 있음을 알려드립니다. 스카이패스 회원이 되기를 원하시는 분께서는
So you know what?
승무원에게 말씀해 주시기
Let's peek
바랍니다.
to the north.
좌석 앞주머니 속에 기내지 모니캄을 참고하시면 스카이패스에 대한 자세한 비행 정보를
All of that there is the crazy band over there.
ただいまシートベルト着用のサインが消えましたが、急な気流の変化により機体が揺れることがございます。お座席にお着きの間、またお休みの際にはシートベルトをお締めくださいませ。
You can get Seoul City Times, I think it's called, or something like that. Mushy Peas on Contrail by Samsung 3D, I think it is.
コリアンエア
I
の
remember.
スカイパス会員の皆様には
Fully off the top of my head.
いろんな特典がございます。
Whitehouse says they offer unlimited ramen cups in flight on Korean Air.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign. In case of any unexpected
Has he?
turbulence, we strongly recommend you keep your seatbelt fastened
He has
at
now.
all times while seated. Please use caution when opening the overhead
Hey
bins,
Andrew,
as
thank you
contents
buddy,
may
very
fall out.
generous of you. Appreciate that big old super chat there. First super chat on the channel as well, on your live stream here. Thank you very much. Glad that you're enjoying the video, matey. 500 Czech krona. Love it. Thank you very much. Very generous.
Cabin crew. For more information about SkyPass membership,
So through 10,000, accelerating up to our cruise, sorry, our climb speed now. And then we're turning left bound, head south through Korean airspace. Landing lights, runway turn-off lights, taxi lights are all off. Seatbelt signs are currently off. That looks good.
Traffic in 891 5,700 feet on
Next is going to be that. Andrew says I should try fly to Prague when I can. We haven't done that for a long time actually, have we?
Runway 34 left.
Yeah, perhaps it's a video for the near future.
traffic
Andrew, appreciate it, mate. Says that he thinks we're one of the best all-round flight sim channels here for variety of locations, aircraft, and stream quality, commentary, and some cool people that fly along with us as well. Absolutely. Pilot Tris, the cabin PA is the Luke Air tool, lukeairtool.net. It's a really good freeware announcements tool for varieties, a good variety of airlines.
Hey dude, love the vids. Enjoy your flight.
Look at that. Blackpink look a bit naughty, don't they? Clipper, good morning. There's Incheon down below us. Flightsim.to, Andrew Quirk. Just go into the PMDG 777-300ER livery section and then search Korean and you'll find it within a number of different options. It's very nice, it's a good one. Got a custom cabin as well, which is nice, which we'll walk through shortly.
Incheon traffic, FedEx 5 departing runway 34 right and Sokcha to Yankee departure Incheon traffic.
Showing about all this weird Bing stuff.
Engine traffic, Korea 776, heavy line up, behind the departure, right.
Standard. Clipper, I would say that's worth it. Premium economy generally, certainly, well, I've only flown with British Airways, but premium economy in British Airways is fantastic. Really, really very good. A lot of airlines have then put in a premium economy cabin because they've seen how utterly successful it has been with British Airways, and it's now it's their second most profitable cabin overall. So much so they've expanded it on a lot of their fleet. So I would think for going Newark to Frankfurt on the 747-8, a $400 upgrade, I'd probably say is worth it. You're getting, if that's a return price as well.
Traffic, Jeju 2326, you're 8 UME from runway 3 for that.
Jeez, that guy there needs a tan on the left. Yeah, Yuri, the 4090 is a beast. Andrew, I think there is a 727 Osprey livery being worked on for Osprey World Cargo. Zato might be able to advise otherwise, one way or another. Look at that, busy old economy cabin.
Incheon traffic,
men's fitness.
Kilo Alpha Heavy 2,500 feet on the first via 2 Yankee departure, Incheon traffic.
Some of these look like The Walking Dead, don't they? See, the passengers like this lady, I think these must be newer, because that is very good. Whereas you look at the ones that are kind of ashen and a bit weird next to them, not great.
Traffic, Korea 776.
Like this lady here with the luminous hair. And this one here looks dead. Bit weird. You compare against some of the passengers. I think they've improved that somewhat. There you go, Andrew. Sasato's already begun some of the work. Nice. No worries, Arto. Feel free. I mean, you could send us the some of us the files to test, perhaps as well, if that helps. Save you having to actually purchase the add-on until you're ready.
Oh, there's a trees on the runway.
Pop through here. Oh, just making coffee. Oh, no idea, Andrew. Probably never. Although, isn't that one that the Inibuilds have now kind of taken over? It's becoming a payware aeroplane. Off the top of my head. Can't remember. My biggest frustration at the moment is with FSS. Their 727's very good, but their E-Jets, well over 2 years later now, are just absolute crap. And they are still not sorting out custom LNAV, VNAV, custom FMS, nothing. It's almost like they don't know how to code beyond using just the default Asobo stuff, which is a real shame. Ethan, it's a scumbag, it's a proper scummy place. And from what I've learnt previously, it's hosted in Russia, so why would you want to support them?
We might be blocked. Coming in 776. Clear 34 right.
Andrew says, nice Zata, it would be nice to have a tropical livery for the hot countries like the Philippines and Thailand so we can deliver fresh mangoes, bananas and coconuts.
And Incheon traffic, Osprey 2472 heavy, rolling runway 34 right on the Pop T2 Yankee departure. Incheon traffic.
Pushback.
Thank you.
Any chance of some BAE flights soon, Grey Shirt says. Yeah, at some point soon we'll try and get it sorted out, but the I love the 777. This is my all-time favourite at the moment, but we're also having to get through various other things like the 727 and some other bits, so some of them have been on the back burner for some time, like the 146, but in a way it's because I've just been waiting for the RJ to finally arrive. Uh-oh, that's weird. Have I just had a crash to desktop? I think so. Yeah. Sim's dead. This is going to be the Bing stuff that's all broken today, isn't it? Causing absolute carnage. Thankfully, though, we're tracking the flight on New Sky, so we get to fire into that and try that again for the first time in a little while. Yeah, Bing, that must be the Bing server issues, right? Screw you, Microsoft. Well, this hasn't happened in a while, has it? Where did we get to? We got as far as Oyong-si. Got any big airfields that we can blast out of? Songmu, probably not. Kunsan Air Base. How big is the airfield there? It's not that big an airfield. I'm trying to find an airport with a decent sized runway for us to launch off on. But Incheon, I think, is the only one nearby. Kunsan Air Base. Alright, well, guess what? French toast, yeah, when we're flying on New Sky for Osprey Airways, we can. Yeah, Zati says the last crash to desktop he remembers is when we had the servers doing weird stuff and we had to use Rex Weather just to avoid it crash to desktopping. And then that is when we began to discover DCS. Yeah, because it became mega frustrating, didn't it? Fuang Ha says it's happened to him twice in the last 2 days. My goodness. Yesterday was okay. But yeah, this is the problem now. So MSFS is probably going to take about 20 minutes to load. I'll make sure throttles are on idle as well. So we've got to load everything back in as we did before, which won't take us very long because I'll show you how to do a few bits. Yeah, it was a tough but very scenic approach, Grey Shirt. Not so much a dangerously challenging one, but more of a technically difficult one. I haven't had a crash to desktop in quite a while, Yuri. The last CTDs that I've had, the last crash to desktops I've had, is with the TFDI Design MD-11 actually. When I load in on the MD-11, when I go back into the menu, it crashes my sim. But it's doing that for a lot of people, the TFDI Design MD-11. GSX Captain Cross Country. John McKenzie says his servers are extremely slow here in Australia. Yeah, is it Bing generally? Or is there maybe like, I wonder if there's a server that's pretty good still. You know, like, where sometimes you can change West Europe to North Europe and vice versa, just to kind of move around, and it might fix the Bing issues. Maybe we try that. I wonder if anyone else is going to get CTD today. I reckon I'll be the only one. Here, don't jinx it, Liam. Mega frustrating when this happens. I tell you what though, if it's like this all for basically the rest of the weekend, then I'll be glad to be going back to work tomorrow. Because otherwise it will just push me back towards DCS all next week. But the thing with DCS, sometimes DCS will crash the desktop as well. But when you actually do fire it back up again, it sorts itself out rapidly. As in, you know, you can get DCS booted back up again within 4 minutes or so, whereas this doesn't. It just kind of craps itself and then just takes forever and a day to load. Bearing in mind I've got a supercomputer. Yeah, I've got loads and loads of add-ons which it's loading, which doesn't help, in fairness. But you'd think it'd be a bit more stable these days, the Bing systems and all the rest of it, when they are 2.5 to 3 months away from launching a brand new simulator. Oh, event viewer, I don't know. I don't check it. Let's have a look. Usually it doesn't say very much. QATL crashed with it as well. It doesn't say anything. It's pointless checking event viewer. It never gives you any information. App crash, it just says. I don't know what I'm looking at half the time anyway with this stuff. Yeah, look how long this takes. I'll be back in on DCS booting up the Chinook by now. I think it's the Bing data, Ancient Dino. In fact, the Bing servers are struggling and it's trying to load in the map data. I think that's caused the crash to desktop today. Which is frustrating because it started off really nicely. And actually the last update, or was it the one before that, they improved the load times. John says good luck loading back in. He's just tried to load at LTFM and there are now no ground textures whatsoever for him. Oh my goodness. And you're on the Australian server, right? It does make me worry about the stability of MSFS 2024 when stuff like this creeps back in. Okay, we should be back in the menu in the next 2 minutes, 3 minutes, if that's now starting to move. He says. Incheon says he's found a lot of instabilities with GSX now, though, with the animated passengers. Well, don't criticise GSX, Ancient Dino. Umberto will say it's not causing the crash to desktops. Bill United says load times are atrocious. I have deinstalled or uninstalled a bunch of the standard MSFS stuff, like landing challenges, and it still didn't give me any improvement. What issues have you been having with the passengers and the instabilities in GSX, Ancient Dino? Just out of curiosity. So even with an RTX 4090, folks, look how long this boot time takes. Yeah, David. The Bing servers are all messed up again. Struggling to load in world data, apparently. Ian says he hasn't seen this scenery blocky for a while. Come on, bloody thing. The struggle is real. You're going to see the fastest turnaround of a 777 in history. And I'm going to initially do it offline on VATSIM, and then when we get all configured back in, Joey's not spamming. He's literally put 2 things in the chat. Just back off. 3 things in the chat. Commentator, one crash and suddenly the chat hates the sim. Yeah, there is map enhancer. Some people find that quite interesting. Some people use the latest Bing data stuff for that, don't they, Josh? And some people are using the Google photogrammetry, but I avoid stuff like that. I just don't know if it's any good. I'd be tempted to install it now during the live stream, though, if this crashes again. I said 2 to 3 minutes, but I've proven myself wrong here. It seems to have got stuck again. So what are we on now for boot time? It's about 20 minutes I estimated, didn't I? But I forgot to check what time we actually started. Maybe the North took us out. Yeah, I do use add-on linker. But if you're disabling stuff in add-on linker, I think from what I understand, certainly for scenery, you're supposed to go into scenery indexes, and you're supposed to then remove a lot of the stuff from there so that it recompiles in the right order. We're kind of halfway between Incheon and Yosu, so I will just go back to Incheon. We'll spawn straight on the runway. Oh yeah, the menu music is infuriating, actually, you know. 13 minutes ago. But it's not too bad then. Oh, my community folder, David, is about 400 files deep. I think. And that means the pilot needs to be reset. And I've got to turn Navigraph off because otherwise it might crash to desktop me actually, I just remembered. Yeah, but it's news to me, French toast. I wonder how long Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 will take to load. I've got to check my control menu as well, don't forget. Make sure that I've got the right controls configured for today. Get rid of that. Brian, welcome! Welcome to reboot number 1 of the sim. I'm going to go menu, hold, PMDG, state panel load, runway, execute. Beep, 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 beep. That's all on, that's guarded, armed, set, checked. That looks good. APU's already off. Pumps are all set. We don't need the center pumps on though. That's all good, that's set. Seatbelt signs, nav lights. Landing, we'll just leave the landing lights and stuff off because we're going to sort that out after takeoff. Strobes on. And we're then going to, I'll just disarm that for now. Set this to 38, which was our cruise. We're doing about 182, so this is where the New Sky stuff comes in really quite handily, right? So we're going to set this up, so I'll get it up on the screen for you. So for those of you who fly for Osprey Airways, our virtual airline, and you track your flights, if you don't, you can't do any of this. You've got to be kind of using this system. I'm going to restore flight, and it tells me now to set the valid data, the right aircraft, and then make sure we've got the correct fuel. So, just going to align our IRS. Okay, SI route request PMDG. Oh no, hold on. We've got to do the tablet first. Press data sim brief. Get rid of that again. RKSI, set payload, set fuel. But actually block fuel. So we're going to set route. We're going to change the block fuel because you can see there on the left it says 2011-45. Fuel wise though, we've got to try and set it around 16,299 apparently. Really? Load. Bloody heck. How long have we got? How far did we get down the runway? Not far, good. We're rolling the whole time with park brake off. Right. Wing, forecast, that's all good. We've already accepted that. Sets, perf in it. We're going to accept flight level 380. Checked. Where's my sim brief flight plan? Block fuel 19492. Surely we didn't have 16299 on fuel. Cabin secure, thanks. I need to go to FS actions, fuel. So that's now gone green with a tick look. Hopefully that's going to get us there. And then it basically says prepare for takeoff. I'm just going to make sure 34 right, Bob 2 Yankee, execute. That's good. 200. 226, we'll leave that for now. So it's a heading of 162 that we're on. We're going to make sure that's set. 162. Altitude, I'm just going to set 31. And speed, IAS was 309. So set 300. Flight directors, leave the rest of that off. That's set. Okay, so power, toga, rock and roll, baby. It's going to give us checklist incomplete. Massively multitasking here. Haven't got any V speeds, just doing it by feel. That's set. Tyre pressures might be a failure, which we'll have to diagnose in flight. So prepare your aircraft for departure as you did during your original flight. If you set the same flight plan, flight parameters, retract all flight flaps, and reach level flight. We'll have to just keep flying. Bing data looks a bit better now, look. We're not quite ready. But I can prepare my bits here. So I'm just going to go level here for a second. Flaps are up, green. Ready? Restore state. Bosh! So initially a bit of panic and a bit of craziness, but that's fine. Disregard that. Autopilot engaged. Jesus. Moxid. Execute. Standard. Performance and VNAV unavailable. So now it's started tracking. Just as we started to get nice and stable again, we're now tracking with the aeroplane once more. So it's monitoring our state. We're back in. So what are we doing? We need to sort out the VNAV issues here. Init ref. What have I missed in the melee? Performance in it. That would be that. Mach 289, that's set. Recommended 380, that's good. Legs set. VNAV's got the speed. Keep that in line. 37, let's go 380. Just going to press VNAV and we're going to have a look at menu. We check what's around me. Zato might be above me. Connect. TARA. Okay, we're back on VATSIM. Correct, Luke. Like I said, you've got to be using something like this in order to have it work. Okay, so what have we got here? PMDG setup, aircraft, failures. Active none. Gear. doesn't seem right. We got no tyre pressure. Yeah, tyre pressure. Oof. Just a quick check of the overhead. No, that's all set. That's fine. I think it might. No, it has. It's just been cancelled. Oh well. We'll have to sort that out. But yeah, it'll be a bug. Just with the way we've loaded in there, but it is what it is. We're back in for now though. Thanks for your patience. Should probably get back on Unicom as well actually. I'm not sure if we're on the right frequency. Let's have a look. Yeah. I've just had this horrible realisation I didn't check this before either. 7.3 yoke default. Good, that's fine. That was another big thing that I had to check before we took off and I forgot in the hurry. Coming up to cruise now though. Can't do ground maintenance, Ancient Dino. Yeah, apparently all the tyres are flat. And Seoul Incheon grounds just come online, brilliant. Yeah, I am back on VATSIM. Probably right at the back of the pack though. Place tyres. Let's see if that solved it. Oh! There's the workaround, folks. Great shout, Dino. Bing! Front tyres say 0 though. Just do both of those. Okay, you know what? I'm happy with that. That's as good as we're going to get today. And the cabin pressurisation system is still chasing us a bit. Back in. Happy days. $14.15, good, yeah, it's tracking again, that's nice. So on Volanta, to pick us up where we left off, that's where we had the crash to desktop, pretty much just over this little airport here. When we've loaded back in, you can see that kind of wiggle from the LNAV VNAV as we just sorted the direct to the next waypoint Moxid, and then back on as if nothing has happened, which is quite nice, but miles back in the pack. Look, Phil United's all the way up there already, FedEx 5 Kilo Alpha as well. We are miles and miles at the back. Everybody's in front of us. Igor Moldova, welcome. Good evening from Antalya. Approach from real life. As in, you're standing there plane spotting, or are you actually in the control tower? That's fine. Nice, very exciting. Trying to think if I need to do anything else. Everything else looks kind of done, doesn't it now? I'm trying to just catch up with my brain with where it should be. Weather. There we go, right, the pressure has equalised enough now to get rid of that little display, giving us a bit of a warning. It was 10, wasn't it? 5 and 10? Great livery for this. I could do 2 times Mikhail, but then we'll lose points on New Sky. I don't want to do that. I love how the World Expo is not till 2030 in Busan, yet they have already now, it's year's 2024, so 6 years ahead of the World Expo, they've already painted a livery advertising it. Which to me makes no sense. Why advertise it when it's not ready? I'll put that back on auto for some step climbs. God, I feel like that's giving me a right headache now. Which is rare, I never get headaches. Schlind, yes, basically, and the lack of any decent replay. Because even the replay options, where you can show replay of landings, they're not the same. So you get like a different touchdown rate. Osprey 1892's just wrote great. Has he had a crash to desktop as well? Yeah, Sky Dolly's a good bit of kit. I don't know if there's any decent scenery for Antalya, Igor. I know there's scenery for Dalaman. We've done that, albeit a little while ago now. We've not been back since. But I don't think there's anything decent for Antalya. I might be wrong. I'd have to Google it to check. Alright, Joe Phone. My Volanta isn't showing everybody for some reason on VATSIM, even though I've got it set. It's only showing me FedEx 5 Kilo Alpha on VATSIM, no one else. And that would be ABL 762 that's probably on the same altitude. Joe, actually, it's just gone past you by the looks of it. Which means he's going to go past a load of us at the same altitude as well. French toast, yeah, we've got ATC online for the Japan area. Make sure you've got your volume switched up for it, because the accents might catch you out.
Fly University 4365, go ahead.
I was looking the other day at, well today actually, I was looking this morning, because I've been looking at train driver jobs for a little while now. Not that it massively interests me, but I'm getting a bit frustrated in what I currently do, albeit I can't talk about it, because it's almost impossible to get promoted without ticking certain boxes. So, irrelevant of my skill set and my ability and my experience, I'm going to struggle to get promoted. But I was looking at, there's a train driver job that's come up near me for trainees. And I was looking at that, I thought, well actually that might be quite a good one. So I was reading through the job description and all the rest of it. But it's a 50% pay cut for the first year. Which is quite a bit to stomach. Yeah, Ian, I mean I can't really elaborate more on I don't tick the right boxes, but I'm sure you could probably make you could probably do the math around that. For example, I got an email saying, "Well done, you've passed the paper sift for this year's application process for the promotion process that we're running. We'll be in touch for the interview phase," and that was it. Whereas a load of my colleagues that have put in for it this year for promotion, they've had an email going, "Congratulations, you passed the paper sift. Due to certain characteristics that they have, throughout the entirety of August and into September, they are running promotion workshops to help them pass the interview phase." Which has instantly, once again, put me at a massive disadvantage. So I'm feeling a little bit disillusioned by it, and I'm thinking, what is the point of even trying, beyond me just trying to get the pay rise, the pay increase. And I know a few people that have moved across to the train driver world. They've said initially they really struggled because of the pay cut. And for me, you know, maths-wise, my mortgage, it just won't work out. Certainly when it comes to remortgaging in a few years, I'm going to struggle getting my mortgage renewed, I think, if I take this massive pay cut, albeit for the first year. And then the second year is also a pay cut, albeit slightly less. It's about 15% less. Year 2 into year 3 is when the pay would overtake. So I've got to do 3 full years as a train driver before my pay goes back to what it is at the moment. Which, where I live, is barely enough. So I can't justify taking a half pay cut voluntarily for a year. It's just difficult. It's so frustrating. Yeah, there's no loyalty for hard work and dedication, Ian. Sadly, I've seen some terrible people get promoted because they tick a box, and then some very, very good people not get promoted. And I'm not saying that's me, but every year at the interview phase, I fail somehow. Yeah, precisely, Mark. So there's all that sort of stuff that I'm thinking ahead of that's kind of got me a little worried. Oh, we're just a number, Ian, which is part of a meat grinder. But I do love what I do at the same time. Sometimes, most of the time. Sometimes I'm just like, what is the point? But there's a lot of people now that are disillusioned and looking to leave, which is a worry. Midlife crisis stream, French Toast said. Not quite. Just sharing some frustrations with you all. The midlife crisis stream was when I started getting a motorbike. and then I've been biking since. I don't know if I would enjoy being a train driver. That's the thing. I've floated it past the missus, and beyond the comment of that's a heck of a lot of pay to lose, a heck of a lot of money to lose. It was the next comment from her was, I can't imagine you're going to enjoy sitting being a train driver, because my job is extremely active, quite physical. ETA Mikhail, well, it was meant to be 2 hours, but I think we're looking into like a 3-hour total block time from the original Pushback. So I think this is delayed us by 30 minutes. I'm not sure. I'd have to check. Commentator says he's already at the quarter life crisis phase. I've already got the bike years ago, so what's next? Yeah, what is next? We've got flight sim ticked off. Ian, apparently you don't have a flight plan filed, according to Phil. There we go, sorted. Thanks. Commentator says he wants to upgrade to the ZX-10 next year, then I've really peaked. You know what, I took my Triumph Tiger 900 in for a service the other day. It's 6,000 mile service, which is frustrating. It was meant to be £500 almost. Thankfully, it only cost me 280 quid, which is still expensive, but a lot less than what I expected, so that's a bit of a win anyway. But my courtesy bike from them was a Tiger 660, and it was so bad. And I've spent the last few weeks thinking to myself, you know what, I'm going to maybe get a BMW Boxer engine of some sort. Yeah, main dealer. Yeah, I thought about getting like a GS or something like that, or maybe I'm tempted by the new the 1300 RS, which is probably going to come out next year apparently, but nobody knows what it looks like. But that'd be quite nice. That'd be quite cool. So I'm very tempted by that, but I realised after dropping off my Tiger 900 GT Pro, and then jumping onto the Tiger 660, I realised how good the Tiger 900 actually is. The thing that sits on my mind, commentator, with it is the servicing costs. The new Tiger 900, for example, it's allegedly a third cheaper to maintain and run and service than the version that I've got. And I know my 12,000 mile valve clearance check is going to be next year, for example. That service is £1,000. And I think to myself, £1,000 for a motorcycle service, that eats into that's 10% of the motorcycle's value. So that's what's in my head at the moment, really, commentator. I'm thinking ahead, thinking, you know what, maybe I'll just get a different bike, because the Boxer engines are really cheap to run, cheap to service, because they're exposed. You could just go in from the side, whereas my valve clearance check for the Triumph Tiger is a complete disassembly of the motorcycle, and then they rebuild it. Hence the sheer cost of that service. But that's every 12,000 miles on my one. Yet the brand new version, the brand new Tiger, is 18,000 mile valve clearance check and a 12,000 mile service schedule, I think, or 24,000 valve clearance check and a 12,000 mile service interval, or every year. So significantly cheaper, because apparently they've improved some of the parts, some of the fittings. They've done something with the engine bore and a few other bits as well. Yeah, for some reason Triumph decided 12,000 miles for valve clearance is a good one. And then you compare it against the Ducati Multistrada V4S, which I've looked at, and the valve clearance check for that is at 28,000 miles. And I'm thinking, what? How is that more than double my Tiger, which has a smaller engine and it hasn't got a superbike engine strapped to it? So that's why I'm looking at a different motorcycle. But it's affordability again. It's you know, is it something I can justify? Right, we don't have any ATC, I don't think. Because looking at VATSIM radar, which I'm just going to bring up on the screen, which is great. It's better than SimAware. Somebody mentioned SimAware earlier. Look at that. We've just passed Jeju ourselves, but we're right at the back of the pack. Beautiful line of pilots ahead of us. Badger's probably on his way in already to Naha, which is there, the island of Okinawa, and it looks like it's going to be Unicom. Because we've got Tokyo Control online there at the moment, but that's it, nothing else. I wonder if... Wind. Look at that, there's the hurricane. Yeah, SimAware is not really being supported anymore, French Toast, so you want to use this, VATSIM-radar.com, and this is basically the future sort of thing. It'd be cool if they created a stream overlay built into that, to be fair. VATSIM-radar.com. Got crossflow traffic over there, whizzing past. Wonder if it's going to recommend any step climbs to us today, because the flight plan suggested we might end up at 400. No, we'll be alright, we'll probably just stay here. There's Jeju. Just got water ahead of us now, which is quite nice. Yeah, Phil, you've hit the emergency button on your new Sky client, I think, by the looks of it. I haven't done any slewing. Well, except for the takeoff. But I could catch Phil up a bit, to be fair, by doing... Oh, how much fuel are we going to have on board if we blast off OH76? Why do we want that? Mach 85. Bring it! Oh, Phil, fair enough. Probably wise then. Yeah, I'm Korean Air 755 French toast. That's the point. Is the overlay working? Because I can't see it. Hopefully it is. It should say cruising, flight level 380 or whatever correct proper altitude is. Good. Cheers, Sato. We'll try and get a little bit of time back. Won't be all of it though. Lovely job, that's the one. Yeah, train driver closes on the August the 26th. Great Western Railway. But it says here the training salary is £28,268 per annum, rising to over £60,000 when fully qualified, but it will take 3 years to get fully qualified, at which point I'll be earning more than I do now, which is great, but I've got to take a huge pay cut before I get there. And that's the bit that I struggle with. Then I suppose, why would they pay a trainee driver a full salary? They wouldn't. Although, how many years have I got left to remortgage? 3. So I could potentially be back at that in time. Something to consider. Part of me thinks I should just throw myself in anyway and apply, and then just kind of make a decision as I'm going through it. Enigma, welcome. Yeah, Brian, there is that. Says sometimes it's better the devil you know, in his experience. True, sometimes it's better to kind of just be a little bit more miserable, but have to sacrifice less. It's very similar to my argument when I was looking at flying training, wasn't it? Where I just wouldn't have been able to afford that. I was going to have to sell my house basically to be able to go and become a pilot with the BA Speedbird Academy. Okinawa traffic? He's miles away. Easier said than done though, reversing what I do. if I was to leave, it'd be very difficult to come back, certainly to what I'm currently doing. Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of PR surrounding the BA Speedbird Academy Dino, but I got to the last 1,000 applicants and then got filtered off 500 applicants to who was it, Skyborn Academy? I can't remember now what the name of it, I think it was Skyborn Academy. So I got very close, I've talked about it a lot in the past anyway on streams, you guys know that. I got very close to actually having a spot on a course, but I did the maths and I can't afford to actually do it, so I had to pull out, sadly. Mikael, nice. Did a job swap on the 1st of August. No more night shifts for him, and he's down 2,000 DER a month. Within a year, he's going to be getting more than before. So that, I mean, that's a great move. I don't know, Danish kroner? Brian? French toast. Well, it depends what you want to do in the airline industry, because don't forget, you might be better off actually not getting a degree, ultimately. I haven't got a degree. And I'm glad I didn't, because there are people that I work with who have now got a massive debt racked up against them, and they're having to pay that off over time, whereas I don't have that. And we do the same work for the same salary. I mean, certainly I remember growing up and there was this huge emphasis when I was at school of you must go to university because it makes the school look good. So the secondary schools are pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing you to try and go to uni to make them look good, but actually ultimately it might be your detriment if you haven't quite worked out the pros and cons of going or not carefully, which is hard to do at a young age because you don't know where you want to go with it. But yeah, and that's another way some employers, as commentator says there, actually pay for you to do your degree when you're employed. And then you don't have the debt. Luke says, how are people getting your logo beside them? Is it on Sim Labs? No, Luke, they're channel members, mate. So you can join the channel as a bronze, silver or gold frequent flyer by pressing, I think it shows it's like a dollar sign. It says show your support for British AvGeek, and then there's an option to join as a membership or do super chat, and they click join button to become members. Should probably do a little fuel check here. So where are we now? Esbis for the waypoint coming up, just to make sure we've got fuel burn that's on plan. That's Jeju, we've already done that. Esbis. Oh, we're already in the Fukuoka FIR now. Wow. 10.2 tons of fuel apparently. Slightly heavy, but that'll be fine. Is there an option to upgrade membership, Brian says? I think so. A few people have done that in the past. I think they just they click the next one up or something, but someone in the chat that's done it recently might be able to actually help advise that a bit better. Enigma there says his work isn't directly what he did at university, but it has given him the time to understand what he didn't want to do, i.e. IT. got, albeit 40 miles ahead, that'll be Phil. So we've done really well to keep up with the Congo line, actually, having had that crash to desktop. We've gone from the front of the queue to the back. But at least we're in the queue. Luke says it gives me the choice of super chat or super sticker. I can't find the button to join the channel. Oh. I think maybe if you click... It depends where you're watching it, actually. Because if I bring it up on my Android phone and I go onto the stream... Where is it? But I mute it, otherwise I'm going to hear myself twice. It's going to be super weird. There's an option on the channel that says join. Yeah, it says our members join, and then with that it gives you the channel membership options. There you go, next to the channel name, Juliet Charlie Mike says. You know what? I didn't know it wasn't in the support button. That's good to know. We've got loads of fuel still. That's good. So actually, we'll do Mach 86. We'll wind it up. Mikael, thank you, buddy. 35 months as a gold frequent flyer, still learning. And enjoying the community every day. You're more than welcome. Thanks for all the support over the last 2.5 years. Long time. Did we get the weather for Okinawa? Naha. R-O-A-H. There we go. So 120 at 3. Few clouds at 2,000. Scattered at 18,000. Temperature 29. Dew point 26. QNH 1008. Set that, and then it says remarks: 1 cumulus at 2,000, 3 alta cumulus at 18,000, and the altimeter 29 is 78 for those of you converting it the other way. $37.7 is how many subscribers we've got on the channel. As in 37,700-ish, which is crazy. It says 37,380 though, so it must be 37.3. Or you might just have to go onto youtube.com/BritishAvGeek Luke and then have a little look that way, but it'll be there somewhere. Oh, I should probably turn Navigraph back on, actually. It's quite a nice evening to fly into Okinawa. We're going to be flying the Gupti North on our arrival. Clover Rocks, thank you, buddy. It's just gifted a channel membership for somebody watching the stream today, and that's gone to Enigma. So well done to you. Courtesy of Clover Rocks, very generous. You've been donated and gifted a channel membership for the next month. Don't forget as well, Enigma, to sync your YouTube user account details into the Discord server, and it will get you access to our club lounge. And Oscar, amazing, thank you, mate. Joined as a gold frequent flyer. Apparently we've got a 3 knot crosswind right to left and a 1 knot headwind for the Gupti North. ILS 18 right, transition Kukul. And we're making some really good headway, because actually we are closing in already on it. VNAV. You know what we didn't do? Winds. Forecast. Centurio, welcome. Yeah, that's the one. We discussed that prior to departure. Kadena. That will be on our left. We'll try and spot it. The Typhoon French Toast is about 2 hours north. That's set. Departures, arrivals, ILS 18 right. Cool transition. And the Gupti N. Legs. There's Gupti. Already, look. 80 miles. So not long to top of descent already. And then in via Party. The final approach. So that's good. And then we can have a little look at the charts actually to see what we can expect. Ooh, that one. So flying in from Gupti at or above flight level 200, heading 192 degrees down towards Okinawa, directly in line with Kadena Air Base, where Centurio was based. There we go. At waypoint Ihea, we're going to turn 213 degrees track, continuing that descent all the way down to Kukul at, we're going to be at 2,000 feet at that point because of the way the descent profile is going to work. It says at or above, but we're going to change that to an at 2,000. And then ILS 18 right, there's Kukul, 17.4 DME. Routing in, 182 degrees track. ILS 110.15. And then as we reach Salsa, which is 8.6 DME, on the left hand side we should see Okinawa Kadena Air Base, which is the biggest Air Force base that the United States has outside of the US, I believe, isn't it? Maybe except for Diego Garcia. What else have we got? So we've got lock course offset at 0.8 degrees there, something to bear in mind. It's not going to bring us in a straight line towards the approach like a typical ILS would, as Doc said there. And then 182 degrees in Naha's VOR 11615 for us to consider as well. We might want to tune that and track that. And the missed approach, turn right, climb to 1200 outbound from the Naha VOR, radial 226 to 15 DME. Climb to 2000, and then bring a clockwise arc to Olval and hold. Contact Naha approach. Olval is all the way over there, it's off the charts, it's therefore situated in that little off inset there. For the missed approach, we're not envisaging that though. It says Salsa, mandatory 1,200 feet. And that's from 8.6 miles. So we're going to be quite low. And this is potentially going to be quite scenic. ILS decision altitude 263. We do a little bit of this prep now, because we've got about 90 miles to go. Until we see Todd. Oh, they haven't solved this scroll wheel issue. Ah, there we go. Good. Finally. West Castle, no. And also you'd get banned from VATSIM because that's not allowed. It's designated as a military type operational flying. You can only do that if you're part of official VATSIM military virtual air wings. Otherwise you'll just get walloped and banned. That's good. Legs, Kukul, Adder above 2000, Salsa 12, Party 12, Old Valve for the hold for the mist. Lightspeed hello says you saw the video on the 727 to turn off the headlight, do Alt L. Somebody pointed that out the other day as well, thank you. So the approach, well, after landing rather for Naha, quite a cool airport really, the way it's designed. We're not going to land on 18 left, we're going to land on 18 right, over the water on this kind of big old built thing there. 2,700 long runway, so we'll go, I reckon auto brake 2 will be enough with a bit of reverse thrust. We'll vacate Tango 7 and then work up Charlie, as Doc says, Juliet 1, Bravo, Whiskey 1, Echo 1, and then the international terminal up here, which is where we're going to be parking today. We'll have a cool little taxi on the way in as well. We'll have a look at the new MKStudios scenery, it's linked down below. Have we ever flown into Florence on the channel? I don't think so. I'm not sure if we've got any scenery for it, to be honest, Mikkel. So we can also go Navrad 110, 15, 182. That matches the data that we were just discussing, so that's really important. We double check that. And we can also, if we want to, pop in a VOR as a manual tracking kind of job. Leave the other one on like an auto tune. Will the next stream be a nice place to fly? The Vulcans, Arto says. I don't know. I haven't decided where we're going to go next stream, or what we'll fly or anything, so I'll think about that over the weekend. I mean, I've had this scenery kind of installed for about, I think, 2 weeks. I just haven't got round to it. We've done Corfu quite a bit, Liam, over the last few months. I wouldn't mind doing something like Skiathos again, or even Mykonos, actually, because we've not done Mykonos for a while. That's particularly difficult with the wind shear on finals usually. Pedro, hello. New to flying the 777. How do I make it so I can see other aircrafts on mine now? You need to turn traffic and TCAS on, TFC. And you've got to be on a network as well that supports like VATSIM or something.
Traffic at 8 on 1 with the going on descent to 2,000 feet from the 1 traffic.
Hey Luke, thank you buddy. Joining us as a bronze figure flyer, thanks for the support. What is that? That's mega bright. I don't know what that was. Weird. You know what, actually I've just remembered we haven't done the new Nairobi, although Innie builds aren't particularly supportive of anybody unless they're on the paid roster now. So I've had to buy all of my scenery from them, which I don't have an issue with. But the issue really comes with the fact that it's they kind of expect you to advertise their stuff by using it even though you've paid for it yourself. And contrary to popular belief, YouTube isn't a massive money earner for me. I haven't got any sponsorships or anything, so that's where that comes in, I guess. Brian's upgraded. Thank you, mate. Appreciate the support. Upgraded to Silver Frequent Flyer. West Castle Model Railway says, never confident enough to do VATSIM. I might try doing a flight 15 minutes behind and then can use your ATC calls as a template of when and what to say. I wouldn't recommend Japan or Korea because you might struggle with either some of the procedures or the accents from the air traffic controllers. You just want to keep it basic. West Castle Model Railway. Follow my VATSIM tutorials. Pick a route from Edinburgh to Bergen. That's a really nice one that's been recommended in the past. Do that instead, and just do that 3 or 4 times to really get used to flying the same route, using the same air traffic control stuff, flying the ILSs. Go Edinburgh to Bergen, and then on another day do Bergen to Edinburgh. Build that confidence up, and then pick a different route. But don't bite off too much. So we're going to have to go back to VNAV speed. Let's have a quick check of Volanta. Looks like everybody's headed on in already. Badges down. Nice. And you've got some screenshots. Oh, he's flying the Children's Day livery as well, which is on flightsim.to. I almost used this one. Basically, it was like a national drawing competition that Korean Air ran, and then they painted the winners one on a 777. Really cool. We got Joe's on final, Osprey 1892. Up he goes. Out of Seoul. Being chased by Liam Osprey 904. He's flying at night time. There's a shooting star though, he's got all that sim effect stuff, hasn't he? Bit OTT with the Aurora Borealis. I don't think they get it in Japan. Zato, Korean 618. And the Mighty Triple as well. On Nippon 1215, Akari Moon's flying out of Fukuoka to Naha. FedEx 5 Kilo Alpha on an entirely different routing. Making his arrival after that. Ian Osprey 2472. He's in the vintage jet. Nice. Phil United. And then who have we got here? French Toast. You on VATSIM, French Toast? Looks like I'm getting quite close to you there. It's hard to tell. Matthew, welcome. He says he's never flying when the Northern Lights are out. Apparently a few colleagues got to see it a few days ago. Yeah, we had it over the UK a few days ago apparently as well, but even when I've kind of sat looking out the window for a number of hours, I haven't really seen them, which is a real shame. I'm going to wind this down to 2000. We'll aim for a continuous descent all the way down. Ah, yes, Phil, that'll be it. Volanta autosave. Every 2 minutes it freezes your sim, doesn't it? What's your Mac number, French Toast? It says I'm passing right over the top of him. Can't see you. Are you on VATSIM? Ah, there he is. You see his strobes and his beacon. Such a phenomenal aeroplane this is. Okay, so we're going to have to really carefully balance ourselves then with French toast ahead. Yeah, what's your speed? How are you at 18,000 feet already? That's mega low. Explains why you're not my TCAS. 250 knots. What's your ground speed? Oh, it's descent at or above flight level 200 at gravity. Oh yeah, we're going to go sailing over the top of you then. We're doing 473 knots. Good. One of the biggest releases in flight sim history, Zata says this is. Yeah, it's just stunning, isn't it? I mean, the A321 and the A319 from Phoenix are going to be mega as well, but I don't think it's going to quite compete still. Here comes top of descent. Oh, now VNAV. We're on VNAV path. Idle. 2,000 sets. Matthew says soon you'll be able to experience the lovely climb rate of the A321 with Phoenix. He left Sacramento the other day. This is in real life. Didn't get to flight level 310 until the middle of Nevada. My goodness. Well, says afternoon flight simmers and Luke, the survivor from yesterday. Yeah. Quite an enjoyable yet challenging trip into Skada yesterday, wasn't it? Got a custom GSX profile for this as well. Brian, we did add the passengers to the 777. We had them on the ground, but then we had to crash the desktop, so I didn't want to faff with any of that. I just got back in the air, so we don't have them on board anymore, sadly. Captain Carolina, morning in North Carolina. How are you doing today? My grandfather is from Leicestershire, or Leicester, England. Very good, thank you. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us with your morning coffee. We're all ready for this now. Order brake set to 2, we'll just use that in reverse, and we'll use manual deceleration, manual braking. Otherwise, we've got to remember as well, just go to the checklists briefly, the nose wheel tyres seem to have 0 pressure because of a bug with the way we spawned, apparently. We'll do flap 30. Approach altimeters, yeah, that'll be fine. Landing will be automatic. Yeah, if we go back to the gear, they're showing 0-0. We managed to fix this, thankfully, though. But it didn't fix the nose. So I'm not sure what to expect. So it might be interesting. We might have to try and hold the... What I might do, actually, yeah, I might try and hold the nose up for as long as possible, just in case we have got nose wheel tyre failure. which will be an exciting way to end the day. Currently, Macau, 209.9. Estimated 2077-300, but it's not going to be that because we had that slight discrepancy with the fuel when we had to restart the flight using the new Sky Restore flight function thing. So it's going to be slightly different. So I've gone for the higher figure. We'll refresh that nearer to the approach phase. It's the only way to do it, really. Count Carolina says he's planning on doing a sim flight today. He's an airline certified pilot, passed his ATP, CTP and ATP written. Congratulations. You can now apply for the major airlines. Very nice. Yeah, I think we're running with flat tyres on the front, Zato. Squawk panel there, the transponder is down there. Actually, that's a point. Non-normal. Tyre pressures. One or more tyre pressures are not normal. That's the condition we're in at the moment. Note, if it can be determined that a main gear tyre is flat, do not use the auto brake. That's main gear, which is the ones under the belly. The nose wheels don't have auto brake. Well, they don't have brakes on them, do they? So, actually, there's nothing really to stress too much about by the looks of it then. It's a spawn issue, Matthew. We had a crash to desktop. It was all fine. And we had a crash to desktop, had to dive back into the sim, so I spawned on the runway. And in doing so, it's bugged out the tyre pressures, basically.
Heavy inbound Kukul descending through 8,700 for 2,000, descending via the Gupton 1 November arrival, expecting the ILS for runway 18 right, QNH 1008. Report when established for the ILS, runway 18 right, Naha traffic.
It will do Ancient Dino, yeah.
No, what?
So will brakes.
Can you fly off for any airline?
What's your stream schedule, Captain Carolina's asking? There isn't really one, because I've got a bit of a mishmash shift pattern. So it just is around work. Next week it's probably going to be for the next stream. Maybe the 22nd or the 23rd of August. One of those 2 days. Speed's going up a little bit here, but I'm fine with it. So I'm just letting it run away for a moment. We're on profile nicely. Any higher though, we get towards the decel, we'll use speed brake to decelerate the aeroplane. And there is our first look at the island of Okinawa on the nose, under the cloud.
Okinawa traffic, Dynasty 120, taxi to runway 18.
Yeah, no, Carolina, he's a full-time streamer. Gets paid through all of his sponsorships, Thrustmaster, all that kind of stuff. I don't have it, I work full-time in real life. This is just more of me embracing my hobby of flight simulation, but sharing it with all of you guys on a day off. So I've effectively got 2 jobs. Typically we'll try and do 2 streams a week, if I can. Into the cloud. With that, actually, where are we? 20,000. Seatbelt signs. Kel says that's what makes this channel special.
손님 여러분, 우리 비행기는 곧 착륙하겠습니다. 좌석 등받이와 발받침대,
Appreciate it.
테이블을 제자리로 해주시고 좌석
I'm also
벨트를
brutally honest. If something's rubbish, I'll say it. Like my thrustmaster Boeing yoke. Don't waste your money on it, folks.
지금부터는 전자기기를 사용하실
Cheap
수
plastic
없으니
gum.
선언을 꺼주시기 바랍니다. 감사합니다. 皆様、この飛行機は間もなく着陸いたします。お座席とテーブルを元の位置にお
Nice
戻
Cap
しに
Carolina.
なり、
Make sure you've got the Horizon Simulations mod for it, so then you get really good system
ただい
depth.
まよりす
if
べ
you
ての
haven't
電
already
子
got
機器
that.
はご使用になれません。電源をお切りくださいますようお願いいたします。Ladies and gentlemen, we will be landing shortly. In preparation for landing, please fasten
Big thank you to
your
everybody who's hit the
seatbelt,
like button
return
so
your
far
seat
today.
and tray table to the upright position and open your window shades.
All of our new
Also,
subscribers as well.
please discontinue
New channel members,
the use
Luke,
of electronic
Brian upgrading,
devices
Oscar becoming a
until
gold,
the aircraft has been
Andrew
parked
for your
at the
super
gate.
chat earlier,
Thank
very
you.
generous, appreciate it. Luke, now I'm using the lukeairtool.net. Look at this. We haven't flown around Japan for a while. I love it. One of my favourite countries in the world. That is the island of Ihaya in front of us. And then the little kind of circular one below that is Shomi, I think? Or no, Izena? Might be Izena. And then Okinawa further up, which is all of that basically that we can see in front of us under that cloud going off in the distance. So remember, on the left hand side we're going to see the massive US Kadena Air Base, potentially from a distance. Oh, look at that.
Okinawa traffic, NFC 120, 9 up and west, runway 18 depth.
Matthew says spent lots of time in Okinawa when he was flying troops. Nice place, hot but nice. Wonder if you were there at the same time as Centurio, Matthew.
Roger. The heavy overhead Delta, takeoff runway 18
Establish on the localizer for runway 3, correction, runway 18 right. Okinawa.
I don't know what that aeroplane was doing. Oh, it's Sakari Moon. I think, potentially. He's on us somewhere. Naha traffic green air 755 heavy is overhead Ihaya inbound via the Gupti North arrival, Kukul transition expecting ILS Romeo, runway 18 right. Altimeter 29780 will report turning inbound Kukul. Decel points coming up. Haven't bothered with any fixed rings. We got ahead of us here We've got basically a Japanese defense force base, Shima Air Base, I think it is. And then further down here, can't quite see it just yet, but we will be looking out for it. It's going to be more so there, roughly, going to be Kadena Air Force Base.
3,000 feet over Kuku,
Speed brake extended. Lights. Disregard. Asahi Super Dry, West Castle. Andrea, welcome. Get ready to pause the music in a minute. So, auto brake 2, that's good. Park brakes off, that's set, ready to go. 2092, 37, that's okay. We'll leave that as it is. That's on the correct display now as well. When we've already pre-checked the data for the ILS, 200213, 240. Decelerating. What a beautiful part of Japan.
Looking out traffic off Bridge, was too heavy, following commercial final runway 18 right. Okinawa traffic.
Everyone else is saying Okinawa, so I might just say Okinawa as well. I'm just going to go to vertical speed mode now. Speed brake. Probably going to need it though now. Yeah. Hope you've all enjoyed the content over the last few days. Prior to me going back to work, we've smashed a bit of DCS in the mighty Chinook, now available in early access. Yesterday flew into wonderful Skardu, Pakistan for the first time as well, which was great fun as well. And today, obviously now routing into the new MKStudios Naha, which is going to be stunning. That looks better on profile now. Go back to 16. So Kukul 2000, Salsa 1200. Got the charts ready. Still got a bit of a way to go until we see Kadena, which is going to be over there somewhere. Cabin secure from the back. I'm going to go for 220. Get rid of the music. Time to focus. Charts. Speed brake again, she's a slippy bird. Up 31, 37, 142. Yeah, yesterday was very stressful when that started having issues.
Too heavy is exit the active runway.
I was going to say, saying that we're not on the right profile for the VNAV, but we are fine.
Traffic,
5,000. And there is Naha up ahead, which also means Kadena is there by the looks of it. 225, flaps 1, let's go flaps 5.
Naha traffic, AN8911, we're about 7 miles out of Cookville, NH1008, expecting ILS, runway 18 left, we'll report when turning on 18 left, Naha traffic.
Down to flap 5 speed, but we'll target 180. Speed brake armed. Checklists. Overhead. Looks good. Set. Okinawa traffic, Korean Air 755 is turning inbound Cookville for the ILS 18 right. Let's get that back out again. Speed brake as we establish.
2500.
Go to 800 foot per minute now.
Traffic, Korean 776, clear on the way to left now.
Get rid of the speed brake and then rearmed it. That's ticked. 16 miles. Look how low we are. It's crazy. Water looks like glass. Kadena is
Enjoy the streams this
over there.
week. Enjoy an adult drink tonight.
Can't quite see it. West Castle, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Very generous of you. Thanks for the super chat. Again, another first. Don't forget as well, in fact we might be able to diagnose that on the way in like this. Offset localizer, so it's not going to bring us in directly towards the airfield, don't forget. Approach mode on now as well. Okinawa traffic, Korean Air 755 is established ILS 18 right, 14 miles final. Yeah, there's Kadena Air Base. Can't really see it, but it is there. Where my cursor is, that's the big old runways. Right, let's go gear down now. Albeit early. Lap 15. I want to have a little look at the tyres, because apparently the pressure is 0. They look okay. Famous last words. But the pressure says 0. See what happens. MPS, thanks mate. 25 months. We basically stay at 1200 feet now until party. And it's almost a 1 degree offset. So you can see there, if I draw a straight line, yeah, we're not coming in a precise straight line to this. Again, just as a reminder as well, the missed approach is outbound via Naha, climbing to 2000. Outbound radial 226, and then clockwise 15 DME arc to Olvel to hold. Could be a sensor fault as well, Brian, yeah. Go flap 30. Speed brakes armed, auto brake 2, landing gears down and green. Flaps are travelling. Missed approach briefed. 6 miles. Autopilot off. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle there. And flaps 30 green. On 42. No, just flying a visual. No, they wouldn't tell that. They wouldn't say that, West Castle. Why worry people? Glide slope. We are autopilot off now anyway. I'm just flying with the flight directors.
1,000.
We can go visual now anyway and just stare at that runway. Keep that picture as it is. Trimming as we go. A little bit of sync there. Welcome to MKStudios Naha Airport, folks. The island of Okinawa, Japan.
Approaching ALA 891. Got ILS runway 18 left.
Minimums.
Continue. Beautiful approach. Looking ahead.
60. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Whoa, almost at the end of the touchdown zone for a go around then. Anyway, reverse green. Manual brakes. 80 knots. Just take some of that brake pressure off. 60 knots, get rid of the reversers. Just trying to be a bit more gentle on the nose to try and keep that nose up. Okay, vacating. I think it might be a sensor fault because we're steering okay. The Naha traffic, Korean Air 755 is vacated. 18 right. Dock, stating the obvious. I can't vacate at 100 knots, mate. I've got to get rid of the speed somehow.
Naha traffic osprey 2.72 heavy taxiing to the
안내 말씀드리겠습니다. 손님 여러분의 안전을 위해 비행기가 완전히 멈춘 후 좌석 벨트 표시등이 꺼질 때까지 자리에 앉아 기다려 주시기 바랍니다. 선반을 여실 때는 안에 있는 물건이 떨어질 수 있으니 조심해 주시고 잊으신 물건이 없는지 내리시기 전에 다시 한번 확인하시기 바랍니다. 감사합니다. ご案内いたします。飛行機が完成に停止し、ベルト着用のサインが消えますまで、今しばらくお座席にてお待ちくださいませ。また、上の棚をお開けになる際には、荷物が滑れていることがございます。搭乗ご注意くださいませ。
Naha traffic, Korean Air 755, taxiing to stand 43 via Charlie, Juliet 1, Bravo, Whiskey 1, Echo 1, Alpha 1.
Please remain seated until the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign. Also, please be careful when opening the overhead bins as the contents may fall out.
That off.
Please remember to take all of your belongings with you.
Yeah, 1.17G.
Thank you.
Not bad. Right on the centre line.
Check.
Towards the end of that touchdown zone, look, but we were in the zone. That's really all that matters. Probably get point deduction though on New Sky for that long landing. But it is what it is.
No traffic. AN891 final approach 18 left. No traffic.
And we had to contend with the crash to desktop. Probably should get rid of the flaps and the spoilers. Looking pretty good though, look at that, in the backdrop. Custom textures with the orange taxiway markings. Quickly change the time to night. Nice apron textures. Chasing the Osprey. Pilot Tris, I would probably recommend Winwing. They seem to make decent stuff that lasts pretty well at very good prices. At this stage I wouldn't really recommend anyone else. Turtle Beach is good, actually. But I would not recommend Thrustmaster anymore. Cheap plastic tat that's well overpriced. My Thrustmaster Boeing TCA is breaking now and it's a year old. Not acceptable. Let's set up the GSX profile as well. On any of those, brilliant. A350-900s and stuff fly into here, so you can definitely deal with that. Throttles, frustratingly, the Honeycomb Bravo, but I hate what's going on with Honeycomb at the moment as well. That's a really slow car crash of a company. I did not know that, Doc. They're saying that one of the girls on the livery from Pink Black or Black Pink is actually Thai. Heavy stand that's apparently too small. Okay. Swissport. Here comes Akari, 18 left. Someone's asking, Incubus, are you pressing C to control the plane from the outside view? It was like drone controls or something, or take over control aeroplane keybind or something. Look at this, they've even got the port in the backdrop. Little lighthouse on the cliff over there as well, that's nice. This is a great scenery. It's linked in the description if you want to get your hands on it. It's available via Contrail. Touchdown. Nicely timed. I suspect that's what Akari Moon's waiting for the entire time. Look at this.
Traffic, Osprey 272, crossing runway 18 left. Traffic.
Skirt! This is a very nice scenery.
No traffic, AN891 taking 18 left on to Echo 7. No traffic. Bye.
Scropes. Runway turn off. Naha traffic, Korean Air 755 crossing 18 left. 31 knots. Slow that down a bit. Couple of weird obstructive lights there. Weird little kind of steam vent things that I keep going through there. Yeah, the front tyre is definitely okay. We've been testing it. I think 43 might be taken by that Korean Air. Not sure. And Naha traffic. Korean Air 755 Civic 81 left. Little tour of the airport. Yes, I think that's the stand that's been taken, so we'll just have to find whatever else is free here. I love how they've got the port area sorted out there as well. Look at that screenshot.
Oh, classic. I love how.
Round we go. It's a bit of a balancing act this, because you don't want to overshoot. This is a tight turn. You don't want to keep it turning too wide because you'll overshoot the line. You also don't want to cut it too tight because you'll hit that light pole. And it looks fairly close. Oh, that pilot's disappeared. Okay, 43, taxi lights off. APU's on, gen's on. Turning in. It's almost like we're late. Gently on the brakes. Just to scrub that speed off now. 6 knots. Three. Two. One. Oh, when's she gonna stop me? Oh, that'll do. We're well over the line here. It's supposed to be a custom profile for this, but clearly not. Very well made. That's all good, that's set, that's all done. Run to cut off. Engines 1 and 2. You're off for some retraining, girl. Ground ups. Set chocks. Beacon lights off. Wait for the power down. Then these will become active. We can go to GSX and request deboarding. Actually, I also need to. Where's door management? Disarm all. There we go. Naha International Airport. Very nice. We go to night time again, or kind of sunset. Let's get a bit of the contrast of the lighting. Look at this. We'll have a look, see how well we've done on New Sky. I'm expecting maybe like a 9.5. Nice profit. Oh, 9.59, that was close. Long landing. Yeah, I knew that'd happen. Decent little route though. 20 minutes behind schedule, so we did alright getting the time back. Let's have a look, see what we've got of this scenery then, shall we? Looks like an element of a bit of an internal kind of structure. And a good old classic sky lounge, which they love in a lot of these smaller Japanese airports. Oh, look at this. Very basic, but it's all you need. Up there as well, little arrivals walkways, look. Pretty cool. What else have we got? What was nice actually on the approach, you've got these kind of sea breakers, these sea walls and things, defences. Very close to sea level, isn't it, this? You've got the little ship over there as well. Little structure, which I think is probably supposed to be a lighthouse. But we haven't actually physically got one inside. And then this looked quite nice. Where are we at here? Cargo. Lots of Japan Air commuter routes to and from here. What it's worth. Loads of real world route options. Radar's not animated. Let's see if the ANA is illuminated. No. Not sure if it is in real life though. Fuel farm. And the Global Logistics Centre, which looked pretty mega. I'm going over this way because I want to go over to the port area. It looks quite cool. And it looks like it's part of the scenery. Which, to be fair, they put the sea wall over all the way to that bit there, which is nice. Let's whiz over this way. Zip, zip. They've actually put, look, bridge here. A little bit of basic road structuring there, just to give it a bit of real life. Put a ship in as well, a little cruise ship. They've put all this into the scenery. Goes all the way there behind the trees out of view, look. And then you've also got on this side cargo ship. And these big kind of cranes. All on final approach. Train.
Traffic UK 30 departing runway 18 left, Escobar 3 departure now.
Right, we'll have to find that in a second. There's Kadena. They've even done little bits here, look. I think. A couple of ships there. Looks good. Let's head back towards the airport. Just bring that time forward just so we get an idea of the ambience generally around the apron. Have a good one, Phil. Same, Mikkel. Where's that train then we've got to go and find? Ah, there's the train tracks. He found it. What is this? This is a tunnel. Oh, it is. A little bit of a wonky line there, though. That could be a bit neater. Goes off under there. The signage is pretty good as well. Bit, what you call it? Bitty. But otherwise, okay. Car park texturing is very nice. Look at that. We've got like an arrivals or departures area. Don't think so. Looks like a very basic interior. Ooh, that's rather complicated. Ah, check-in. Very nice clear boards. Super steep air stairs which bring you to the main departures concourse by the looks of it. Very basic, but again, I suppose you don't really need this sheer level of detail, do you? Where does that take us? Nowhere. Sorry if that's making you nauseous. Very basic check-in, isn't it, this? It's nothing that blows you away, but actually generally quite nice regardless, for a reasonable price. Here's your Sky Lounge. There's the Ospreys. Great, Japan still have so many of these. Let's go find ourselves that monorail. Here she comes. Which side's she gonna come? Ooh, this way. Always on time, never late. You watch it go the other side now. Ah, bloody ripper. There we go. Beep beep. Not quite got the door alignment right. I'm being really picky here, but you'd think they'd have had it stop in line with where the door was supposed to stop. Not now, GSX. We're chasing a monorail. Bit of a gap there. And there. So he probably just goes to there and then resets and bounces back. That's the end of the line. What do we got this side? This is it looks like the airbase side of things, because this is also a Japanese Defence Force base, from what I understand. This certainly looks military. Afternoon, Ashton. Welcome, mate. Definitely a military site, this bit. Nicely done, though. I think the Japanese Air Force, or the Defence Force, they use F-35s. I'm trying to think what aircraft they've got now off the top of my head. A couple of big old radars there as well, look. Working round just gradually towards the edges of the airfield, really, to see what we've got, because I'm going to work towards the tower. A couple of hotels over there. Madness. Is that a little beach shack? Might well be. Right, not quite. You guys are seeing how I get my pan shots now for all my videos that I do. I end up recording millions of these little clips and then stitching loads together. Various like angles and pans and speeds. Little watermasking work going on there, which is quite nice as well. Let's go and have a look at the tower, shall we, folks? In the middle. Drone camera, pilotress. Has it got an inside? Maybe. Looks like it. Yeah, it looks like it's got a main tower area, but the officey bits there, but the radar areas and stuff below look like they're just kind of photographs. Oh, it's however you've set your keybinds up, pilotress, for the drone camera. Mine's WASD-RF. Oh, decent. Look at that for an overview of the airport. So you have it. Have a little look in the live stream description if you want to get your hands on this. It's available now over on Contrail. There's a link directly in the description for today's live stream to help you basically just go straight to that website. And it's an affiliate link. So if you do choose to purchase it, it's a really nice way of supporting the channel at no extra cost to yourselves. They've even put the strips in, nice. And the floor. Hope you've enjoyed today's flight and the last few days of content as well. Big thanks to everyone who's flown along today throughout the journey. And for those of you who are patient waited while we sorted out that weird crash to desktop, hopefully over the weekend the Bing data doesn't really break and just brick everybody's sim. We've been lucky with it today, I think. So in the meantime, as always, enjoy the rest of the weekend. Thank you very much for watching wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time, some point next week, for another live stream, wherever it may be in the world. But take care. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.